What if there was a group of people whose DNA could unlock mysteries of human history, tracing back to the dawn of civilization? Imagine discovering a group whose genetic roots date back thousands of years, linking them to some of the earliest populations in Asia and beyond. Who are the Ainu, and how did they come to stand apart as one of the most distinct indigenous groups in history? Through cutting-edge DNA analysis, scientists have uncovered extraordinary insights into their ancestry, revealing a fascinating blend of ancient lineages that reshapes our understanding of early human movement and interaction. But this discovery leads to even deeper questions. Are the Ainu direct descendants of Japan's first settlers? What do their genetic ties tell us about connections to other ancient populations across Eurasia? And how does their story alter what we thought we knew about human history? As we dive into the intricate tapestry of their genetics and culture, you'll uncover groundbreaking revelations that challenge the limits of science and history alike. Stay with us to discover how the Ainu's extraordinary DNA reveals a story far beyond what meets the eye. To begin with, let's address the question of who the Ainu people are. The Ainu are an indigenous group whose history and culture set them apart in extraordinary ways. They are primarily found in Hokkaido, the northernmost island of Japan, as well as parts of Russia's Sakhalin and Kuril Islands. Unlike the majority of the Japanese population, the Ainu are believed to be descendants of the Jomon people, a prehistoric group that lived in Japan over 10,000 years ago. The Jomon were hunter-gatherers, known for their intricate pottery and a way of life that existed long before rice farming and other influences from mainland Asia transformed the region. The Ainu are a fascinating people, recognized for their distinct physical features, language, and traditions, which highlight their deep and separate lineage from the Yayoi people who migrated to Japan from East Asia. Historically, the Ainu were described as having lighter skin, thick and wavy hair, and fuller beards, traits less common among other East Asian populations. Their facial features, including pronounced brow ridges, deep-set eyes, and broader noses, have often drawn comparisons to indigenous groups in Siberia or even parts of Europe, although these similarities are not definitive. These physical characteristics, along with their cultural practices, point to a unique heritage linked to the ancient Jomon people. While the Yayoi brought agriculture and became the dominant culture, the Ainu retained their ancestral ways, rooted in nature and oral storytelling. The Ainu story is one of resilience, preserving a unique identity despite centuries of marginalization and the pressure to assimilate into mainstream Japanese society. Modern DNA studies have become invaluable in uncovering the ancestry of the Ainu people, providing scientific evidence that validates their unique identity and rich cultural heritage. Genetic markers, specific segments of DNA that reveal patterns passed down through generations, serve as a map tracing the Ainu's lineage back to the ancient Jomon people, one of Japan's earliest populations. These studies also reveal connections to groups in Siberia and Southeast Asia, painting a picture of diverse and ancient ancestry that sets the Ainu apart from the Yayoi-influenced genetic traits found in most modern Japanese populations. The Ainu's distinct genetic makeup, coupled with physical features, underscores their unique historical journey. Unlike populations that have mixed extensively over centuries, the Ainu have preserved much of their ancient heritage, acting as a living bridge to Japan's distant past. This evidence not only highlights their importance in the broader story of human evolution, but also reinforces their status as a distinct indigenous group with deep-rooted ties to Japan's history. By analyzing these genetic clues, researchers are able to document the Ainu's contributions to human history, shedding light on migration patterns across Asia and emphasizing the global significance of preserving indigenous narratives. These studies support efforts to protect the Ainu's traditions, language, and way of life, ensuring their legacy is recognized and honored for generations to come. Through science, the story of the Ainu gains new prominence, reminding us of the profound diversity within human history and the need to celebrate and preserve it. With that said, we can now see that the evidence linking the Ainu to populations in regions like Siberia and Southeast Asia comes primarily from genetic studies, which reveal shared markers among these groups. The Ainu's genetic makeup contains traces of DNA associated with ancient Siberian populations, suggesting a historical connection through migration routes. This link points to a time when early humans traveled across northern Asia, adapting to diverse climates and terrains. Furthermore, some genetic markers found in the Ainu show similarities to those in Southeast Asian populations, indicating interactions or shared ancestry from an even earlier period. These connections highlight the Ainu's diverse origins and their significant role in understanding the complex migrations and interactions of ancient peoples across Asia and beyond. Also, there is evidence suggesting genetic connections between the Ainu and populations that migrated to the Americas, though the link is indirect and ancient. Studies have shown that the Ainu share genetic markers with indigenous groups in Siberia, which were part of the ancestral populations that eventually crossed the Bering Land Bridge into the Americas thousands of years ago. This connection is not unique to the Ainu, but points to shared origins among early human populations that dispersed from Asia to other parts of the world. Some researchers also note similarities in physical traits, such as facial structures, between the Ainu and certain Native American groups, further hinting at ancient links. While these connections are distant, they help trace the paths of human migration and demonstrate how ancient peoples were interconnected across continents. Comparing the Ainu's genetic data with that of other indigenous groups in Asia and beyond provides fascinating insights into human migration and the spread of ancient populations. By examining shared genetic markers, scientists can track how early humans moved across regions and adapted to different environments. The Ainu's genetic links to Siberian and Southeast Asian populations suggest that their ancestors were part of a broader migration pattern that shaped the peoples of East Asia. These comparisons also help us understand how isolated groups, like the Ainu, maintain their genetic distinctiveness over thousands of years. Such studies offer valuable information about human history, showing the complex connections between indigenous groups across Asia, the Pacific, and even the Americas, revealing a much more interconnected world than previously thought. Over the centuries, intermarriage has played a significant role in shaping the genetic diversity of the Ainu people. As Japan's population grew and other groups settled in the region, the Ainu were increasingly exposed to different genetic influences. Marriages between the Ainu and neighboring populations, including Japanese, Chinese, and Korean groups, gradually introduced new genetic markers, blending the Ainu's distinct lineage with others. This mixing resulted in a more diverse genetic pool, which, while still preserving many Ainu traits, also reflected broader regional influences. While intermarriage enriched the Ainu's genetic diversity, it also contributed to a gradual shift in their unique identity. Today, researchers analyze these genetic changes to understand how the Ainu maintain their heritage while adapting to centuries of cultural and genetic integration. When considering the influence of environmental and social factors, the genetic composition of the Ainu population has evolved significantly over time. Although the Ainu remained relatively isolated for centuries, their genetic makeup was shaped by changing environments and interactions with neighboring groups. Harsh climates, limited resources, and fluctuations in food availability influenced their genetic adaptations for survival. Socially, interactions during periods of migration and trade introduced new genetic material through intermarriage with other populations. Over generations, this blending of genes created a diverse genetic pool, reflecting both the Ainu's unique ancestry and broader influences from surrounding regions. Despite these changes, the Ainu retain genetic markers that connect them to Japan's ancient Jomon people, showcasing the intricate evolution of their genetic identity over time. The genetic uniqueness of the Ainu offers valuable insights into the biodiversity of early human populations. As one of the oldest indigenous groups in Japan, the Ainu's genetic makeup is a window into the deep history of human evolution. Their genetic markers trace back to the ancient Jomon people, revealing a population that adapted to isolated environments and survived over millennia with distinct genetic traits. This preservation of ancient genes shows how early human populations in Asia, particularly in isolated regions like Japan, developed unique biological characteristics that differentiated them from other groups. The Ainu's DNA also demonstrates the impact of migration, mixing, and environmental changes over time. By studying their genetic diversity, scientists can better understand the broader patterns of human evolution, revealing how early human populations interacted, adapted, and contributed to the rich biological tapestry we see in modern-day populations. However, researchers face significant challenges in studying the genetic origins of the Ainu. One major hurdle is the limited availability of genetic samples due to centuries of marginalization and a declining population. Historical intermarriage with other groups has introduced genetic complexity, making it difficult to isolate the Ainu's unique markers. Additionally, the Ainu's history of discrimination and exploitation has led to understandable hesitancy in participating in research, emphasizing the importance of ethical and respectful study practices. Further complicating the research are the gaps left by the loss of historical records and artifacts, which limit context for genetic findings. Despite these obstacles, ongoing studies continue to shed light on the Ainu's remarkable genetic heritage while advocating for the preservation of their culture and identity. A critical part of preserving the Ainu heritage is addressing the status of the Ainu language. Once widely spoken, the Ainu language has been classified as critically endangered by UNESCO. Today, it is spoken fluently by very few individuals, mostly elders within the community. Efforts are underway to revive the language through educational programs, cultural initiatives, and documentation projects. These endeavors aim to ensure that the Ainu language survives as a vital part of their identity, preserving their connection to the past and enriching global linguistic diversity. The Ainu's story is not only a testament to their resilience, but also a critical chapter in the broader narrative of human evolution, inspiring us to value and protect the diversity of our shared history. In conclusion, the study of Ainu DNA opens a fascinating window into the ancient world, bridging gaps in our understanding of human migration, cultural exchange, and survival across millennia. By tracing their lineage to the Jomon people and uncovering genetic links to distant populations, researchers have not only deepened our knowledge of Japan's prehistoric history, but also highlighted the interconnectedness of humanity. The Ainu's story reminds us of the resilience of indigenous cultures and the importance of preserving their heritage in the face of modern challenges. As science continues to unlock the secrets of ancient DNA, we gain more than just facts. We uncover the shared roots of our existence and the stories that connect us all. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share it with your friends. I look forward to hearing your thoughts and questions in the comments below. May God bless you all, and I'll see you in the next video.